Hey everybody, thanks for coming. I'm Adrienne, this is Amanda, and we only have one mic, and we're gonna try to share it.
So kind of how it's gonna go is we're gonna talk to you a little bit about what we do, how we manage productivity, and then we'll go into the tools, and then we're gonna open it up just to kind of see what you guys use, because that's what I'm here for.
I just want to make sure you guys know everything we talk about, Amanda has done a super pro job of putting on a website that we'll share with you, and then we'll add anything you guys bring up before the day ends. I don't know, is that overpromising?
No, I can do it.
Okay.
No problem. Okay, so one of my first tips that I do every single day, I get into work and I say, what are my top 3 things that I need to accomplish today? Because I don't know about you, but we've had lists longer than anyone can even imagine, and you can't get it all done. So if you can at least get 3 things done today, write those 3 things down, and you'll usually check them off really quick. So that's like my basic top thing. As far as basic productivity, I go with these 5 pillars to kind of optimize productivity. Now, I don't think there's ever been a day where I've been able to accomplish all of these things, but if you can try a few of them, it'll be better for you. So you want to, any of those?
So I know that I'm sure you're the same as me. I think some of these are really a lot easier than others. Like I am hardcore into limiting notifications. Like if my phone is flashing a light, I'm so distracted. I turn all notifications off. I know it's like really hard to do that, but that's my number one recommendation is just turn off all the notifications. You'll get so much done. The messages will be there waiting for you when you're ready to check them. So that's my number one. The number one I want to work on is under mind, under meditate. I really want to work on that this year. So that's my like stretch goal for the year.
The one thing on here that I'm really good at, and I will try and like push you guys to do, is no agenda, no attenda. If you have a meeting that you're invited to and it doesn't have an agenda, you're probably going to waste hours talking off topic about things that you didn't even need to. So make your people have an agenda so you can stay on task and make the most use of your time. Yeah. And this is online too, so if you want to grab it and use it, print it, I don't know. So recently I've taken a Skillshare class on Get Things Done, and I love it. It is so easy to use this workflow. It looks really complicated, but it's not. So I highly recommend checking that out. Basic, kind of, the best thing to describe it is brain dump. You sit in front of your computer, and I do this weekly or monthly, and I just, anything that I've been thinking about doing, it all goes down into Todoist. So that's a nice segue. Here you go, you can talk about Todoist.
So this is one that Amanda and I totally agree on. Todoist. So that's Todoist, not to-do list, Todoist. It's super simple. There's a free version that's got everything you need. It's nice on your phone. It's got it's got desktop apps if you're into that. There's like a browser thing and a Gmail plugin. It's just got everything you need, but it's like very simple. And so my pro tip on using this is for like shopping lists. So in my personal life, let's say I want to buy a mirror for the bathroom or something. Like I don't know if I'm going to get that at IKEA or Target or Craigslist. So I just label it all those things. So I labeled IKEA, Target, and Craigslist. So then when I'm at Target, I pull up my list of Target, and it's everything possibly that I could buy at Target, but I don't have to choose one list for that. It can also be on the Menards list or, whatever your home shopping of choice would be.
So I like the quick add key, which is Q on the desktop. I'm not 100% sure what it is on the online version. But it's perfect for that brain dump. You can just Q, enter, and you're just getting all that information out there. And then I like to go in and make things actionable. So it's easy to edit things. You just hover over it and retype it as it is. So Trello is kind of my favorite product management system. We use it mostly for our home stuff. So any shopping lists or house to-dos. This is literally my house to-dos board that you're looking at right now, labeled by room. and that gets nothing ever checked off. I don't know if any of you are homeowners, but nothing gets done. At least it's organized well, right? How do you use?
So we actually use Trello at work. Got a coworker here, and we use it to the max. So much that we're kind of outgrowing it. But we use it like we link issues together. We have multiple boards. Everybody who has a different workflow has their own board. So it's like super easy to use. It can be as lightweight as you want. So if it's something simple, and particularly something that has states that it goes through, like idea, working on, ready to publish, complete, it's super good for that. So I think it's a really good tool to jump into on project management.
So I have recently gotten into Evernote. I've tried it many times, but it took me a long time to actually get in there and use it. If you have an account and haven't looked at it in like a year or so, I highly recommend going back in there and looking at all the different things you can do. I was just in a different session where I wanted to take a picture of the slide. Well, it makes it so it takes a picture of the slide and it converts it to a slide. I was blown away by this little thing that you can do, and I wish I could show you, but it's on my phone. I also use it just for travel notes or sharing links, collaborating with my clients, like outlines. I don't know, like I pretty much stopped using Google Drive in lieu of using this, but I still love Drive for other things.
So for whatever reason, yep. So you guys are nearly I, like Amanda, have tried Evernote many, many times. I feel like all the cool people are using it, and I should be too, but I'm not. I'm going to try it again. But for now, I use Simple Note, which is like just that. It's Simple Note. It's just markup. There's no markup to it. It's just plain text. One nice feature of this is you can share it with someone who's not a Simple Note user and collaborate. But I do feel like I want to use Evernote because it's got really good apps and all these whiz-bang things. But I just can't get there. I don't know.
I've stopped using Word. I don't know about you guys, but I pretty much use Google Drive for any word processing, and I like how it integrates with it doesn't integrate with Word, but it makes available the export for Word for people that don't use Google Drive. And I would say that it's awesome for collaborating. I don't know about you guys, but we have weekly updates in Excel documents that we have to do at work, and you don't have to make sure someone else isn't using the Excel file. You can all be editing the same file at one time, which saves many a headache for entering the same thing 3 times. I don't know if any of you have ever done that, but it's yeah. So you actually can see everything live and real time as people are editing it, and I love that.
We use this a ton at work too. I work at Lead Pages in marketing, and we're a content-driven marketing organization. So not only do we collaborate in everything, but you can also put in little comments and have the comments resolved. I just forget that there was ever a Microsoft Word. It's awesome.
So I have pretty much moved all of my client files to Dropbox. So no matter where I am, on vacation, at work, which I probably shouldn't be doing, I can access something on the go for them versus having to have my home computer at work. And I love that, and I'm sure there's many other services. As you can see, we have others that we like. Amazon Cloud Service is new. It's something my husband's like freaking out over, and like you can archive things and you don't have to have it on your computer. So there's things like there's new things coming out all the time around cloud storage, but right now I'm still stuck on the Dropbox.
I'm stuck on Dropbox too. I thought we were going to talk about Code 42 next, so I was going to do that. But yeah. We're both Google Calendar users. I know there's tons of calendar apps out there. I just keep coming back to this. It's like simple. It's like I have an Android phone, so it's like all ready to go and integrated, and I think they just keep making things better. And Amanda wants to start using IFT recipes using some kind of calendar button.
Yeah, so I have recently fallen in love with IFT. I mean, not recently fallen in love, but the Do of IFT. So you can download their Do button or Do Note apps and easily, within seconds, open that app and add something to your calendar. You can, I mean, literally you can do so much more than just Google Calendar, but I really love how easy it is to now enter a new event in my calendar. Chrome extensions. I can't wait to hear yours, but here's a couple that we like. I like Timer. It's kind of my Pomodoro things. More so it's my, you need to get up, you've been sitting for an hour. And I also love Google Mail Checker.
And I have a home computer, I have a work computer, and I have a phone, and I just had so many times where I like just wanted to share a file or have like a URL that I share. So I use Pushbullet for that. And it also like allows me to be on a computer and like if someone calls me, have a little notification because I have my phone on silent at work so I can decide whether to respond. So I really like it. It kind of solves a really simple problem, but I've been really into it. And another one that I'm kind of trying out now is Sorted, which takes your Gmail and makes it kind of like a Trello board. So you can like pull emails into like call this person back and, you know, wait till this shipment of pencils arrives. So it's a cool thing to play with. I'm not sure if I'll stick with it, but I like it.
So I haven't actually spent a lot of time in Handle. It's kind of new or so new to me, but I thought it was a good mention because it takes your email, your calendar, and your to-dos and integrates them into one app. I really have enjoyed it. I've been using it for my client work, and I've noticed a lot more things they don't get unanswered. I make sure that if it's an actionable email that I create a to-do out of that email. I highly recommend checking it out. If you have found that, what happened there? If you like it, don't like it, I'd love to hear more about your thoughts.
You can't talk this because you're biased. Amanda's husband works at Code 42, and they make an awesome product called Crashplan. So if you're into Minnesota-made software, or even if you're not, they are like top of their field. It's super awesome software. Everyone should be using it. You know, with all this cloud storage and everything we have now, there's no reason not to have a digital backup of everything that you own. We use it at work at Lead Pages. It's awesome.
So I'm a graphic designer, freelance, and this app is kind of everything I need for that. It tracks time, it allows me to do estimates, invoicing, retainer agreements. If I have a team of people, it allows me to have specific rates for those people. And I think that it's just an easy to use platform, and I don't think I would use anything else. So, I mean, I don't have much to say about it other than the time tracking is essential for me, so I love it.
This is just a quick one. I have, like, I want to know how much I spend on, like, eating out and coffee. I don't know. It's, like, the things I can control in my budget. I can't change my mortgage, so I'm going to try to, like, spend less on coffee or something. And so I have this MoveIn app, and it has a prepaid card. And so whenever I eat out, I use my MoveIn card. And whenever I, like, get coffee, I use my MoveIn card, and it'll tell me whether I'm spending more or less than last month. And it's that simple. I think they have a lot of other budgeting things, but that's what I use it for. So it's kind of handy.
So I use MyFitnessPal. I'm currently trying to lose weight, so it's really helpful to track what you're eating and your workouts. I think health is a huge thing with productivity. Sleep pulls into it. If you're tired, you're not going to get work done. If you're not eating the right foods, you're going to be more tired. So it's like it's kind of all ladders up to being more productive. And what's I really like about this is we make a lot of meals at home, and you can custom enter recipes to get the calorie makeup of those and add them in, because I don't know how many of us like make a lot of meals at home that aren't in here, because everything's specific to how you make it. So I love that you can do that.
So at work we use HipChat, but for Ministar we use Slack. Does anybody use Slack? Yeah, it's really growing in popularity. You have to. It's growing in popularity, and it's super fun. In its basic format, it's like a nice chat tool, but if you know Casey Helbing, one of our board members, has like tricked it out so that the Slack bot which we've renamed the Starbot because we're mini star, will like do stuff. So you can be like, Starbot, image me kittens, and like a picture of a kitten will show up, and like it'll say mean things to Alex all the time, which Casey programmed it to do. And so it's super fun, and it's super. They've grown a ton. They have there's a lot of success stories about Slack out in the world if you're interested, but it's a really good tool.
So as we were talking about IFT earlier, these are some of my favorite recipes. And I don't know how many of you know about IFT, but it basically is an if this, then that tool. And so you're saying, if it's 9:30, send me a note to do something. If I post a picture to Instagram, then post it to Twitter as a native Twitter pic. Wake me up to work out. It'll call me at 5:30 a.m. on the days I want it to wake me up to work out. And then the new do buttons and do notes allow you to say, get out of a meeting with a phone call, which I will demo for you right now. So I'm going to get out of this presentation. I just pushed the button literally 2 seconds ago. So hopefully if it's working well.
Who does it say it's from?
It just says it's from California. California is calling me. I'm going to hit it again because it's not working. Well, I like the idea. It worked the other day. I like how it says, I heard you want to escape from a meeting. So it'll call you and say that. But I have it set up to my Google Voice phone number, so that might be why it's not working right now. Of course. So some random apps that we like that aren't necessarily apps. I can never. Tippity is it's literally just an audio recording of a coffee shop. So I don't know if you ever have annoying coworkers, but I do. And Derek, if you're watching this, it's not you, of course. And I like it because it just makes you feel like you're in a coffee shop with the background white noise and whatnot. And flight search, I found the best prices by using Google Flight Search. It's super easy to use.
So, is there anything after this?
Yeah. Oh, I get a call. It's late, but I got it. Okay, sorry. And then kind of this last thing, I'm really bad at checking current events and looking at newspapers. The Skim emails me every day at like 8 o'clock in the morning with things that happen that are important for me to know so that I'm in the know. And it's super snarky, which I love. They're always like making fun of themselves or crazy politicians. So it's just fun to read too. So that's the link. It's bit.ly/productivity15. So yeah, we want to hear from you. Like, what are your favorite tips, tools, apps?
IFT recipes.
Yeah, IFT recipes. So I don't know if we should like send this around.
I can try.
Yeah.
I'm pretty loud. I don't know if I need the microphone.
Well, it's for the recording.
He's plenty loud. He doesn't need
Yeah.
Hey, it's fine. It's fine when I say it about myself. So I use Google Inbox. Does anybody else use Google Inbox? Yeah, it's kind of relatively new. I think it's still invite only, but it kind of changes the way you think about how your inbox works, and it turns it into more like a to-do list, which made me realize that that's how I was using my Gmail inbox for the longest time anyway. So I know I still have room to grow as far as using it to the extent that they intend for it to be used. Like, you can add reminders in there. When emails come in, you can kind of snooze them for a day or a couple hours, and then when you actually might have time to get to something, then it'll pop back up. So Google Inbox is pretty sweet.
Handy.
All right, so the two that I have, and I hope I didn't see it up there, but 1Password's incredible.
Yes.
I kill myself trying, or what? LastPass. Anyway, some sort of password application. But the other one is Alfred app, which even though I think the latest Mac OS has an improvement in search and some sort of similarity to it, but it just allows you to open up a little search bar or a little search area, and you can scan anything on your computer. It's just incredible. You can open up applications, files, anything. So now I don't have this massive dock anymore and don't have anything on my desktop. I just store it away and searches. And for Evernote, you either got to jump in or jump out. That's it. You have no other option. You'll love it. Or get out.
Also at Lead Pages, and I'm sure at home sometimes, we use Voxer quite a bit, Voxer. It's kind of like text messaging, but for voice or voicemail without the annoying outgoing message. But the key thing about Voxer that evidently not a lot of people know about is there's a speed up function right next to the play button. So you can listen to those longer messages at triple or quadruple speed. So that really increases our productivity, especially with some of our folks who like to think through their thought as they're recording their message. Who's next?
Well, I'm in a startup, a co-founder of a startup, and I really didn't realize this session was in place until just last session. But anyway, I'll give it a go and just describe. Our product name is called Goalery.com. So it's not an alpha yet, but do go on the website if you want, just to GoAlery.com. Yeah, it goes beyond a to-do list. It provides a tracker, so you can track when you last ate something. You can do custom prompts. So say, what did you eat then? Or how long did you do exercise, etc. It does history of what you put in for notes, and it can do graphing, so it can give you trends of what you've done. And so you can do journaling, etc. So it's pretty nifty. Give it a try. It's not an alpha yet. I mean, there will be an alpha soon. So if you're interested, just take a look. Okay.
Sorry.
If you're foreign, like some of us that have moved to America, I know immigrants come and taking our jobs is still a problem. So you start your own company and then you can tell them all to screw off. But you still want access to your home media and your home entertainment. There's a good Chrome extension called Hola, H-O-L-A, and you just go to hola.org, and you can access whatever country you want browsers. So if you want to really access the British Netflix selection and extend your Netflix selections, this still works because that's where I predominantly go. No offense to American comedy, but it's shite. So I want to watch the good stuff from home then, and all the really good Ricky Gervais stuff is on there as well. That's not accessible here. So that's one. And then the other one, if you're sort of a solopreneur or if you're on your own and you want an easy, accessible invoicing tracking system, another good one that I found is Free Agent, which actually started in the UK but is now available here, Free Agent.
Cool. Brian? Or either of you? Oops, I'm sorry.
I had a question. I don't know if it's for you or maybe anyone else can chime in, but I'm looking for different tools to use with our team in just kind of project management tools, I guess. Right now we're using a combination of Basecamp and what's called Team Gantt. So Basecamp is kind of a collaborative tool to do task lists that your clients or whoever you're working with can go in and collaborate with you. They can comment on tasks, upload files, all that kind of stuff. And then Team Gantt kind of makes a chart out of it so you can visually see when everything's going to be completed and how the project's going in a visual way. But I was hoping maybe I get some more ideas out of this. So.
I don't know. So we use Asana. I use Jira at work. Are you fundamentally hoping for like a task list plus visual schedule together?
Yeah, I
kind
guess
of.
so, but it has to be kind of collaborative so that someone outside of our company can also interact with it. That's kind of the key. That's why we went with Basecamp.
Yeah, Basecamp is good for that. We use Asana for mini-star stuff. It doesn't have a lot of visual scheduling stuff. But yeah, so that'd be a good solution there.
Breeze.
BREEZE, Breeze.PM. I don't know that one. Cool. I gotta look that up. I also think like maybe Rike. Has anybody used Rike? I don't know that one as well. Is that maybe do it? I don't know. Or Flow.
They're pretty good. I mean, it's on par with Asana, right? I would say.
I think the space is kind of crowded and it's like really specific. Like you have this exact feature set. So I know that's not a good answer, but
Don't build it. Yeah, I would I would check out Asana, especially if you can get plugins for it. I always kind of go to I love Trello, so I don't know if you guys have tried it. Okay, well now I have to check that out because that sounds awesome. Someone over here wanted.
Sure, yeah. I'm just going to throw a couple of other tools out there. Launchbar is very similar to Alfred, where you can program a lot of stuff. And then on the Google extension side, I don't know if anyone else has tons of tabs open in Chrome. I do. So Tab Manager is very nice. It gives you a nice little drop down, and you can have different formats with it. And double click on it and go right to the tab. One Tab is another one that I'll also mention. What One Tab does is, let's say you have a window that has, say 10 tabs on it. You can click on the one tab. It'll shrink all of those tabs up, make a page for you so you can go back to the tabs later. And the key thing there is that it does not chew up your Google Chrome memory. You can always click back and go back to it. So,
Thank you. I'll make my way back to you.
I don't know if anybody else uses this, but Rescue Time, if you are interested in actually getting things done, it's a great tracker. There's a Chrome extension, there's a Mac app, there might be a PC app also. Basically, it'll send you a report at the end of every week and tell you how much time you wasted on Twitter, how much time you wasted on Facebook, and you'll see literally how much time you spend not doing the things you think you're wasting all your time doing.
I'm not sure if these ones were mentioned at the beginning. I came in about halfway, but Yesware. No. So who does sales? You need to track. Yesware is a good one. There's a couple other tools out there. A local company called Docalytics. You should definitely use that for document tracking. It's fantastic because then you can tell you never read the proposal. You're on there for 4 seconds, and I know who you are. So that's really, really key if you do sales. Another CRM that I like that's built into Gmail is called Streak. It's really fantastic because you stay in Gmail. You can build custom flows, custom everything. It's fantastic. Another one for consumer side. So I don't have Google Inbox yet, but because I have a Google Apps for business. So I use Unroll.me. That has saved my life. I am not kidding. Everybody in this room should have that. They just got bought, I think, like a couple months ago. But that is so key to keeping your inbox clean. It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, so what it does is it actually goes through your email and it puts a label on it and kind of unsubscribes you from all the crap. But it's not really crap. It's actually stuff you want to pay attention to. It's just you'd prefer not to get 50 emails on subscriptions or whatever that is. So what it does is it rolls it all up into one email, emails you at a certain time of day, and then you can quickly scan through all 50 of those really quick. And then the ones that you actually care about, you touch it or click on it, and then it takes you to that page. I literally have 600 subscriptions rolled up in that system.
So is it a Gmail? Does it tie into Gmail or is it its own app? Or?
It ties into Gmail. It just asks for authentication and access to your Gmail account. And then again, it doesn't truly unsubscribe you. It just puts a label on it and then hides it from you. So it's a great tool.
Cool.
There's probably a lot of people here who do a bunch of online shopping. I'm definitely one of them. And my process is usually like I go to a site and I find something I really want, but it's too expensive for me because I'm really cheap. So my process is I keep going back to that same item and I wait for it to go on sale. So there's a extension out there called Trackif, Trackif. And what that does is instead of me going to a page where I can just say, yeah, I'm going to buy this today, I hit this in-browser extension and it'll start tracking the price of the item for me. And when that price drops and it goes on sale, it'll email me and then I'll be able to buy it right away. So it saves me a lot of time just having to go back and wait for something to finally drop to a price that I'm okay with.
There's another real quick. There's a Chrome extension / website called Camel, which will give you the best price on Amazon stuff. So you can see the lowest price it's been and the highest price and what it is now to kind of decide if you're going to buy it now or later.
So I use Workflowy. I don't know if anybody else used that, but it's basically a unlimited deep bulleted list. So bulleted lists are really easy to make, really easy to keep track of. It's a really nice tool. For accounting and invoicing, Wave Apps is another good one. It's free to use for accounting. If you want to do invoicing, I think they take like a percentage or something, but it's another good one.
Okay, so just a couple of apps. My girlfriend actually uses a program called Stay Focused to shut off her internet when it's time to go to bed. Yeah, it's bad? Okay, well, you know, she finds it very useful, and yeah, that helps her sleep. I actually got an Amazon Echo, and I found that surprisingly useful because when I'm in the kitchen needing some dough or something and I remember something, I can just say, oh, Alexa, add rutabaga to my shopping list, and it does it. So that's one of the things that I really like. And a lot of credit cards have concierge services, and I found that useful for finding items that are local that you can't find everywhere. Just call them up, tell them to call up every store on your behalf, and they can find it, and it'll save you a bunch of time if you need to find like a rare Christmas gift or something like that. Or if your mother wants you to find something in Des Moines.
I love the Echo. We have one at home too, and it's amazing. I love asking. Yes. Well, it's kind of fun to just be like, hey, Alexa, play Death Cab. And she's just like, now playing Death Cab. It's like whatever you want to listen to.
I've gone back and forth with Unroll Me and another one called Sane Later or SaneBox. I don't remember which one. I always get confused. It basically learns the habit of which emails you open and who you're connected to. So it actually looks at your LinkedIn, looks at your Facebook, and then when you get emails from those folks, it'll put it in the right folder. And then you can train it over the course of a few days in order to learn which messages you pay attention to. And then it starts to put things in a Sane Later folder or a Sane News folder or a Sane Bulk folder. And so similar to Unroll Me, it gives you a way to just look at the important stuff. But I like its intelligence. It seems to learn things appropriately. And then it also sends a SaneBox digest, similar to Unroll Me, where you can see what you might have missed during the day.
So one thing real quick that I didn't mention in here, but I use is, I don't know, how many people use Photoshop products, Adobe products, kind of some of you. They have, if you're on Creative Cloud, which I don't know if everybody is, they have this new thing called Creative Cloud Libraries. I use a lot of the same things every day for my job, logos, colors, fonts, things like that. You can easily create a library now of the similar things. So you can say, hey, this is my Anytime Fitness library, and in it is all of our logos, all of our colors, and all of our fonts. So I don't have to open up another doc with our logo in it anymore. So it's kind of, check out Creative Cloud Libraries if you have Adobe products. Pocket. I've used Pocket, but I never go back and read them. I don't know.
I do have a little bit of that problem, but it takes it off my mind.
You were
I
doing.
know it's somewhere.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Does anyone else have things? Yeah.
Ooh. Question. I noticed no one's mentioned personal finance. I was wondering what people are using. And I'll preface this with, I used to use Quicken, and then I moved to Money, Microsoft Money, which was the best, and then they went away. And so these days I use Ace Money, which works pretty well, but I was wondering if there's anything better out there. Is anyone?
Mint got bought by Intuit, which is one of the ones that I've used. It's pretty nice for tracking stuff and giving you sort of a budget.
Just throwing this one out there too. Anyone in here do prototyping or wireframing for software? Nobody does wireframing? Oh, there's a lot. Okay, so UX Pin. I do this for a job, and this is one of my favorite tools that I recently discovered about a month ago. Was a huge fan of Axure, which is pretty hardcore for like corporate wireframing and prototyping, but UX Pin is the Google Docs version of wireframing. So real-time collaborative. You can all see what you're building at the same time, comments, annotations, fantastic. It's reasonably priced. I'd say it's a little bit higher on the SaaS side, but it's a good tool.
Don't run. You don't want it. You were just stretching. I wanted to get my workout in here.
So one that I like to use, because I'm the guilty party that always has my phone on silent in my coat purse somewhere far away, I like to use MightyText, because not only will you be able to text from your tablet, because I have an Android, you can also get notifications when people are calling you. So it'll pop up by your clock on your computer. It's free.
I am unfortunately been recently introduced to this one from one of our designers. If any of you do graphic design work and you're doing templates or something like that, there's a website called placebeard.it and another placebeard.it and another one called placekitten.com. And you just put a slash and then the number / the number, and it'll give you an instant random image of a bearded person or a cat. With the pixel width and height that you've just put into the link. So it looks pretty weird when you look at it at first, but it's really handy. It's pretty wild.
I actually have a random question, and I'm asking it because you guys seem to know all these presentations. I haven't always caught the bit.ly at the end of them for mini buyers. My question is there going to be a place where you can collect all of them at the end of this? Like, are we going to amass them somewhere on mini bars websites?
So we have a wiki that has all of the presentations, and in a perfect world, everybody would put their bit.ly up there. It's really up to the presenter. So it's kind of on an ad hoc basis. Presentations that were in these 4 rooms or the theater will be recorded, and we'll send out an email when those get up on YouTube, so you could always like go rewatch some of them. But we'll send an email to the presenters and try to remind them to update their presentations in the wiki. Anybody got any stumpers? Like, productivity problems, what tool can solve them?
Probably going to be really easy for people, but so you know when you get emails that are from people's BlackBerry or their smartphones, I always want to just like type in the email and that it sends it to their phone, but I don't know how to do that. Does that make sense? So how can you email a phone from your email on the computer, like Gmail? You want to email somebody's phone, their smartphone. Yeah, basically, yeah, text them. Ooh, so.
So you could put like their number at Sprint PCS or something? Oh. Yeah, Google Chat would work. Did somebody say Mighty Text would work for that? Okay.
So there's a website, emailtextmessages.com.
Emailtextmessages.com.
All of the domains that you send the number at whatever you do and transcribe it.
So you just do their phone number at
Yep.
then the
So
domain.
emailtextmessages.com looks like a pretty complete list. I've never heard of Dobson Wireless, but they have them too. How do you know?
Yes, you have to know their carrier. I bet like a Mighty Text would figure it out. Yeah. I just assume everybody has email on their phone anyway, and I just email them. So is this a non-smartphone? So they don't have email on their phone?
Smartphone, but they're texting it to my email. And then, so I want to like, and then in order to get back to them, I have to either email their email and then I have to dig for that because it says it's like from my Verizon Wireless. No, but I can because it's you know people that are like satellite, they're working, they don't have an office, that you know they're like,
okay.
Their phone is their thing, and they I don't know, and it would and that's like how instant it would be if I could just text it to their phone number and not.
Does anybody use if this then that? I have TT. Does anybody have any like good recipes they want to share that they rely on?
I don't use if then that. I use Zapper, but it's awesome for automating stuff. If you're continually, having to manually do stuff, is to automate as much as you can. Yeah, ZAPIER. It's the same thing as if then that. Maybe not as good, but some of the apps that I use have Zapper recipes where they don't exist in if then that.
Anybody else? I'll get around to you. No?
I use Wemo. If anyone else uses Wemo, their house, and I use it for turning off my lights when I leave my house. So as soon as I leave the GPS, it turns off my lights.
I have smart things, and so the door unlocks when I show up, which is nice when you're carrying a baby.
Well, you guys both stole mine. I was going to say Wemo too. But I will say I use the Wemo. It's, I don't know, it's kind of an older house, but we've got window unit air conditioners. So I've got a IFT recipe where if it's raining out, it will turn off all the air conditioners. Or also if it like goes below a certain temperature, it'll turn them off, which is kind of nice. I also use Roomie remote in our place to that also does home automation stuff. So.
No. Anybody else? I also use Tasker on my Android phone, which is like not a great user interface. I'll tell you that right now. But so like it knows when I'm at work, so it will connect to that Wi-Fi. And when I leave work, it'll stop looking for Wi-Fi, so I don't have that battery drain. And like when I'm home, it'll turn the volume back up because I'm not at work anymore and like some stuff like that. For a while, I had it text my husband when I left work, but then he'd get like a text every time I went outside, and it was super annoying. So I stopped doing it.
Along those lines, I have a really good one. If people Glimpse, it's GLYMPSE. If anyone hasn't used that, essentially, it solves the problem of telling someone where you are for a short distance. So like if I'm picking someone up from the airport, I can send them a glimpse and they can see my GPS location for a certain amount of time until I get there. And that way they're not asking where I am all the time and that. So I use it all the time. It's fantastic.
Don't do name tags. Everyone just get a tattoo of your name, and then we'll be good.
On the forehead.
Right here. Yeah.
So if you're like an early adopter like me, there's a website called Betalistcom, and it's every website, well, that submits to this site that's in beta and looking for beta testers. And it's always fun to see kind of what's coming out, even if you're not signing up. So just I'll add that. Beta list.
Similarly, I don't know if anybody's on ProductHunt, but if you're like to see new apps and try new things, it's a really good list of cool new stuff coming out. How are we doing on time? 4 minutes. We can all go get some beers early.
So the anti-productivity tool I would give you is, of all the set-top boxes for cutting your cord for television, we found Amazon Fire TV to be the best at fastest loading of your favorite binging process when you're done with your productivity. Faster than Chromecast, better apps. Chromecast would be second, but Roku, PlayStations, etc., the Amazon Fire TV we've seen, and the most intuitive remote as well.
I just put a laptop and a wireless keyboard, but I'm old school.
One more I'd say, this company just got acquired called Sunrise Calendar. Love Sunrise. Oh, okay.
What about your product?
What, Purchase Box? Yeah, you should all download Purchase Box. But that would be too biased. But thank you.
If you want to manage your e-commerce receipts and whatnot in your inbox. I know of a really good software for making landing pages. Who wants to sell something? All right, let's all go drink some beer. Thank you guys so much. Hope some of this is helpful. We'll be the best person. We'll be the most sharing presentation today, so we'll give you all this stuff if you have that bit.ly link. Thanks, everybody.